Oh well.
So yeah.
Sometimes the best stuff comes out when you wing it, though.
So okay. I'm sure we put some sort of intro music in there somewhere, right? Anyways, welcome to Quantum Geek. This is this is the first episode, so we'll be kind of explaining how things go with this as we go. Um, but yeah, I am Lee, and I am joined with Landon and Will. You guys want to introduce yourselves right quick?
Oh yeah. Hi, I'm Will. I'm one of the characters on the show.
Name's Landon.
So yes.
Mhm.
So yeah, pretty much like I said, we're gonna be kind of going over how this show works as we start playing. But it is a real play. It is a real play podcast, and well, as I feel like the best way to actually explain what's going on is just to go ahead and start. So, as we open up, there is some strange going ons. There are red lights
Yep,
flashing.
I'm still
Okay.
here.
The
Okay. My Wi-Fi cut in and out for a second there.
oh, all right. Where'd we lose you?
Uh, you had just said that you were going to explain how everything works, and we had, and then my Wi-Fi went out for a second when right after we introduced ourselves.
Okay, well, I didn't really do too much. I basically said we're gonna kind of go over how this show works while we're playing this first thing. I'll probably actually do more introduction of how it's going to work later. But if you're familiar with the show Quantum Leap, it's kind of got a similar premise to that. You'll find that out here in just a minute. As we open, we have we're seeing a scene of all of these computers, very high tech facility, but the lights are flashing, they're flashing, they're flashing. It's all chaos. There's someone calling for someone over the intercom. But here's the thing. My two characters do not know any of this. My players do not know any of this is happening because well, um Will,
Uh huh.
um you find yourself looking at some very weird control panel.
Okay.
Um, you're not entirely sure what any of it means.
Okay.
There's just like a bunch of just random stuff on there. Got lights, something that looks like a computer system, and in all honesty, you're fairly certain that that looks like a spaceship. And Landon,
Mm-hmm.
you're sitting in a fairly nice chair looking out at space. There is a somewhat older gentleman sitting next to you. Actually, he's standing right now. He's balding, but not like unattractive or anything, just older,
Mm-hmm.
wearing a red shirt. You appear to be, well, it's sort of weird. You feel a bit of a breeze on your lower region. You seem to be wearing a blue dress of some sort, but not like a long blue dress, and it's not like, like a formal occasion style thing. It seems like it's
Mm-hmm.
fairly uniform, And as both of you look around, you notice that everyone seems to be wearing a similar uniform as all of you, except for you, Luke.
Mm-hmm.
You seem to be the only one in a sort of dress style version of this uniform.
Mhm.
Sam, you're wearing a uniform as well. It's got a yellow color to it. And
Okay.
one thing both of you may notice as you look at yourselves, oh,
Okay.
you both have breasts.
Oh. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's a change. That's not right. Okay.
That's definitely new.
Yeah. Yeah. I think even if I have a Swiss cheese braid, I would think that I would remember.
Yeah, you remember, you both of you remember, you are guys. You don't see anyone familiar around you. Well, me let me ask. Do you see anyone familiar around you?
Definitely not.
So I'll explain everyone that is around you. Um so Sam, you're standing, like I said, you're looking at a computer screen of some sort, and behind you there is, well, he seems to be a man. He has some weird kind of skin affliction of some sort on his forehead. It almost seems like he has like a fin of some sort on his forehead. He's black, very
Okay.
muscular looking. Um, there's also
Okay.
another woman that's wearing a yellow shirt not too far from you. She has short blonde hair. As I've already
Okay.
stated, Luke, you are sitting next to the chair where this balding man just sat down. In front of you is an extremely pale, and when I say extremely pale, I mean white pale man with very short hair, wearing a yellow shirt, wearing a yellow colored uniform. And next to him is another man. He's got sort of curly brown, like kind of brownish hair,
Mm-hmm.
um, with a widow's peak, and he is also wearing a red uniform.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, do you guys recognize anyone?
Uh,
This is coming from now your memory of
well,
whatever you can pull from your memory of where you are.
well, noticing the forehead thing, and
So I
I'm
will go
like,
ahead and share an image that our audience can see, but you might not.
but yeah, I think I would recognize that, at least the forehead thing. Let me see. Oh yes.
All right. Well, as you guys are thinking,
Yeah, I'm going.
the
Wow.
balding man starts speaking.
Okay.
You'll agree, Data. The Starfleet's orders are difficult. The extremely pale man speaks back. Difficult. Simply solve the mystery of Farpoint Station. As simple as that. It's hardly simple, Data. To negotiate a friendly agreement for Starfleet to use the base while the same type snooping around, finding how and why the life form there built it. Inquiry. The word snoop. Data. How can you be programmed as a virtual encyclopedia of human information without knowing a simple word like snoop? Possibility. The kind of human behavior I was not designed to emulate. It means to spy, to sneak. Ah, to seek covertly, go stealthily, slink, to slither. Exactly, yes. Glide, creep, skulk, pussyfoot, gumshoe. Are you guys doing anything during all of this?
At the point where I'm hearing, those names, I'm assuming, am I there or am I
Yes,
some
you are
other
there.
location?
You are current like you hear this going on behind you, so if you turn around, you will see the balding man and you will see the very white man speaking back and forth right now.
Okay, okay. Between the black guy with the face ridges and the extremely white man, and hearing the name Picard, I think I would, finally start to put together that a lot of things aren't right now because I think I remember this. I really do. It like I like. Am I in? I'm like that. Really looks a lot like the person that. Wow, these are real good costumes. What is happening?
Yeah, I will also say as you turn around, you also get to get the nice view of space.
Oh, oh. So maybe not costumes.
All right. Luke,
We're
I
definitely not in Kansas anymore.
Oh, by the way, neither of you know that you're one of another, right? Just to
Gotcha.
let you guys know. Both of you are experiencing this separately without knowing the other is even there.
All right.
All right. Luke, I will need
Mm-hmm.
and let me double check it right quick. I believe it's going to be. Granted, you don't know what your intelligence is right now. This is one of those things. Oh, yes. So, um both of the players have a blank character sheet for the system that we're currently using. The system that we are currently using is called Offworlders. All right? It is a
Mm-hmm.
2d6 system. And since Luke is about to give us our first roll, I will go ahead and let you know that a 7 to 9 is a partial success, 10 and higher is a perfect success, and if you roll 2 6s, you get a critical success. But in that
All
same
right.
regards, if you roll 2 1s, you get a critical fail.
Okay.
Now, so you will be so my players do not have their character sheet because they currently do not know anything about themselves nor the person that they are currently inhabiting. So, they will be taking notes on their blank character sheet as well as a note paper to find out, to keep notes about what their characters can and can't do. So, as I said, Luke, I will need.
That would be a 10.
Yes.
I got a 6 and a 4.
All right. So, yes. You definitely get it because you get it on the dice. And that I will say that does tell you you do not have a negative to your intelligence. Because that is a possibility that you could have a negative to your intelligence. But since you got it right on the button, that means that you don't know if you have a plus to it yet. But you do know that you do not have a negative. Okay. So, as all of this is going on, you're suddenly having a weird feeling like you just start it's in your mind, you just suddenly feel this strange, almost like an overwhelming mind is just pushing in on you. And then there are alarm sounds everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
All right. Something strange on the detector circuits,
Mm-hmm.
another person says. And then up in front where you guys see the space view,
Mm-hmm.
this giant, almost like a laser gate appears.
Hmm.
The pale man goes, "It registers as solid, Captain."
Mm-hmm.
By the way, you guys are fully allowed to interject at any point in time. I do have the script for this episode up.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
That's what I am currently reading from, and I will only diverge from it when you guys start interacting or deciding to do stuff. You guys could entirely freak out and just run off. Like you guys are allowed to act however you want right now.
Yeah. My character's kind of just sitting here in shock, going, "Okay, is this actually happening?"
Shut off that damn noise. Go to yellow alert. The weird looking guy behind you, Sam,
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
says, "Shields and deflectors up, sir. Reverse power, full stop. Controls to full stop, sir. Now reading full stop, sir." And then there's a flash of light. And this person appears. I did not get an image of this person. So, this person appears. He looks rather haughty. And I am going to send you an image of him as soon as I can.
Okay.
Alright. So, first, I'm going to go ahead and share it with our viewers. What in the world is that? I am glad I'm going to go through and edit this later.
Yep. Sorry, I had to close my door.
You're fine. Alright. So I just shared that with our viewers. I'll share it with you. This guy appears. And he's dressed in very old-timey, like, when I say old-timey, I'm talking like, 15th century or something, Elizabethan era clothing.
Yeah.
When he appears. And he goes, "Thou art notified that thy kind hath infiltrated the galaxy too far already. Thou art directed to return to thine own solar system immediately." That's quite a directive. Would you mind identifying why you are what you are? Then the man stops. And he looks at both of you.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Now, this is interesting. You aren't supposed to be here. Now, are you? Excuse me, but what are you doing on my ship? Mon Capitan, please freeze for a moment. And as he says that, you two seem to be the only people that are still able to move.
Mm. Oh, fine.
Really? Okay. So, yeah.
We don't even know. I'll pretty much say we don't even know why we're here or how we ended up here.
Yeah, that's the fun thing about this. My character's just like,
Oh yeah,
oh,
you guys are still in that. You guys are still in that whole like, what the hell's going on here?
we spent the
Yeah.
phase right
first
now.
5 minutes of this just happened. What is this? Who is this? Did time just stop? What is happening?
So
Yeah, that's what I want to know.
he walks towards Luke,
Mm.
and as he's walking towards Luke, Sam also sees him walk towards him.
Oh,
But-
And in unison, both of this guy looks at both of you and is just like, now tell me, why have you infiltrated this place? This is my game here, not yours.
I go directly at him and just go, I have no clue. I just kind of am here.
Hmm. Then he then there you see another flash of light, and he appears again, this time looking as though he's dressed as what you would imagine Sherlock Holmes would be dressed as, and holding a pipe to himself. Yes, yes. Of course, it is elementary. You were playing with things you did not know, and then you decided to go trampsing about before you actually tested anything. And of course, that is very human.
That's what happened?
Do you have anything to say for yourself?
Right now, I'm mostly just confused as to how this is possible.
I just want to go home.
Well, here's the problem with that, Miss Troy. You decided to do something, and now, well, I have to punish you. So,
Oh,
how about this? And he snaps his fingers, and the bald man vanishes.
oh,
Everything returns to normal, and the rather large guy behind you, Sam, spins around and is about to attack him when the guy just sort of flicks his hand, and that man just appears down below next to the pale man.
oh, okay.
Yes, I've decided what we're going to do. We are going to court. He snaps his fingers again, and all of you, like both of you, along with a few of the people that were there,
Uh-huh.
appear in this get to this point. Lost my place because I went off script. Okay, well, anyways, you guys appear in this almost like a coliseum, but smaller. You might recognize it as an extremely old-fashioned court, like not like, you know, the courtrooms that you guys would know about nowadays, but like, you know, back in the
Roman court.
yeah, back in like the Dark Ages.
Gotcha.
There are all sorts of Mongolian type people just screaming at you all. The blonde woman is there. The pale man is there. And I believe the man with the weird forehead is there.
Gotcha.
Now, I have decided that since your captain is already prepared to speak, these two will now be in charge of what's going on. We have protocols for this. That is not allowed. I don't care who you are. The blonde girl speaks up and prepares to pull her weapon, which looks like a kind of small ray gun of sorts,
I
but
don't think
without a
this is going to
trigger.
end very good.
And he snaps his fingers, and she just freezes. Quite literally, freezes and falls to the ground.
Oh, oh, oh no.
So,
We're
would
not supposed
anyone
to draw our weapons.
do it?
Apparently, we're not supposed to draw our weapons.
Speaking, you now actually realize, Sam, you also have a weapon.
Oh yes, yes. Okay, all right. So you know
Oh,
what? I'm gonna look around. I see the captain, right?
no, the captain is not there. The captain has not returned since he was flashed away when this guy first showed up and talked to you, to the two of you.
Great.
And this guy now says that the two of you are in charge, and anyone that wants to stand up to him can have the same fate as the blonde woman there.
Great.
Okay.
So I look at him and go, "What is it that you want of us?"
I want you to all return home and stay there. In all honesty, the human race should just be completely obliterated from existence. You have all spread out far too vast in this universe now, and you spread your filth and destruction wherever you go.
Hmm. Let us know how to return home. We can do such.
Yes. Of course, you two do not seem to understand yet. I have put both of you in charge, and anyone who speaks out against that will suffer the same fate as her.
Oh,
The pale man looks to Luke.
Mm-hmm.
Counselor Troy, I believe he can actually do this. I do not know why he wants to put the ships in yours and Ensign. Hold on
I
a sec.
Soldier A.
I do not know why he wants to put you and Ensign Rhodes in charge, but
Mm-hmm.
it might be prudent if we obey him for now.
I agree because he did that without even breaking a sweat. That was just like second nature to him. So yeah, I completely agree. We follow what he says for now until we can figure something out.
Now, you, of course, want to go home. I need to find out if humanity is worth letting live. So, I believe we can both find a way to do this. I suggest a test.
Okay. What kind of test?
You are currently on a mission already. I will observe and then decide what your fate is after that. And then there's another flash of light, and all of you are back on the bridge, minus the captain.
All right.
Let's do this.
Um, the pale man hits his little badge, which both of you now notice that you have this little badge on you.
Yes.
He hits this little badge. It makes like a chirping noise, and he goes, "Dr. Crusher, we have a medical emergency on the bridge. Please." Oh no, Dr. Crusher's not there yet.
I was gonna say I forgot who's
Sick bay.
the one that's there right
There
now.
is a medical emergency on the bridge. Please come and retrieve Lieutenant Yar.
Yeah.
And then he kind of makes sure that she is in a safe position. Um, and then looks to Luke.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I do not know why he has chosen to put you and the ensign in charge, counselor, but we await your orders. The larger man is like, "What's going on here? I believe it is the only way that we can follow through right now." Luke, I would like you to actually no, you don't even have to roll for this because it's not a powerful mind. That man,
Mm-hmm.
he is currently looking away, but
Mm-hmm.
you just have this overwhelming anger that's just building up inside of you, and somehow you know that it's coming from him.
Any reasoning to it, or just it's there?
You feel it as though it's as like it's hard to exactly explain how you feel it, but it's almost the same way that you see something, you smell something, you hear something, you feel his anger.
Hmm. And it's coming from him?
It is coming from him. I'm gonna go ahead and give you something.
Mm-hmm.
Give you something to put on your notes. You have an ability called Scanner.
Nice.
You can easily read people's surface emotions. You may roll the dice with intelligence to try and access a character's deeper thought or specific information.
I'm gonna get a very good old dice roll, so 2d6, right?
2d6 plus your intelligence. Currently, you do not know your intelligence. You know that you have at least a 0.
You wanna know what's funny?
Hmm.
I rolled a 10 again.
All right. Go ahead and what are you looking for?
I am looking for any reason he might be angry and to see if he knows anything about the objective that he's keeping from us.
He is extremely angry because he just watched his captain vanish and he couldn't do anything about it. And it's this overwhelming sense of him feeling that his honor has been damaged.
All right. I'll just, as long as he's not acting aggressively towards anybody,
No,
I'm not gonna do.
he's doing like the same thing that like a gamer would do when they're pissed off and they don't want to hurt their keyboard. You know,
I like that description.
like
So he's pretty
he's
much
staying
about
on
ready.
his panel, but like he's jabbing the panel just a little harder, but definitely still holding himself back.
Don't want to break that panel. No, we still need this
All
panel.
right. Who's the person? Who's the next person that's in like the next
Oh,
position below us now that they're
actually,
captain?
something interesting
Mm-hmm.
I should actually tell you since you now are aware of your scanner ability. That white man,
Mm-hmm.
everyone else around here, like I said, it's sort of just like another one of your senses. You see them, you hear them, you smell them, you can
Mm-hmm.
touch them, and you can feel their emotions. Okay? Except for him.
Like, I'm not picking up nothing from
You
him
are
at
getting
all.
absolutely nothing from the white man. That sounded so weird.
Wait, that was good. Wait, that was good. Wow.
You were getting absolutely nothing from the pale man. You're getting nothing from the white man, I tell you.
That's funny. Oh my
All right.
Alright.
I asked the person nearest me, what's our current objective? What do we need to be doing now?
Well, currently we are heading for Farpoint Station to retrieve Commander Riker, Dr. Beverly Crusher, and Lieutenant Geordie LaForge. At the same time, we are supposed to inspect and, as our captain stated, snoop the facilities there.
God.
All
Okay.
right. That's it there then. I suggest full speed, perhaps.
As you wish. And he goes and sits down, and as you guys were talking, medbay, someone from medical came and retrieved the woman. Actually, no, she was actually beamed to medical bay. So as you guys stood there, a strange sort of like wind chimey sound happens, and she vanishes.
Like, what in the heck?
And absolutely no one else reacts to it except for the two of you.
My eyes just grow big as I'm just realizing this is real. This is happening.
Is this
This is
is,
happening. This is real.
is this just a reoccurring thing? People just vanish in and out whenever they want to?
Um, so you feel at least three people, and like they suddenly get confused by your statement. The pale man turns and says, "They simply transported her to the medbay. It is a standard occurrence."
All right. I guess that saves the time of walking the ship then.
This is great.
Preparing to initiate warps. Preparing to initiate warp, sir. On
Alright.
your mark.
Go ahead and fire it.
And you guys go warp 9.5 in order to reach Farpoint Station. And on that, we are going to go ahead and call this particular episode.
Oh wow. Okay. All right. That works.
So, so one of the reasons I wanted to call it right now was because that was a rather good point, because that's almost precisely where the actual episode ends.
I would say you paralleled the actual episode quite well with this.
Yeah.
You literally just substituted us for Picard.
But I also wanted to go ahead and at this point properly explain how we're doing this podcast.
Fan,
So,
we kind of just dived right in and didn't
yeah,
actually.
because I wanted it to be like kind of confusing for both of you as well, you know, because it's supposed to be confusing. So,
Yeah.
as I said at one point, I think earlier, if you've seen Quantum Leap, you probably understand the basic premise of what's going on here. These two characters, Will, who is Sam,
Mm-hmm.
and Landon, who is Luke, play two people that have just appeared in the bodies of two random people in this particular show. As I'm sure everyone has already figured out, it is indeed Star Trek The Next Generation.
Yeah, yeah. I think, but you could have figured it out by the very pale, white man that we've been hilariously laughing about, and the fact that the black man with face ridges. That I'm like,
Yep, Worf.
yeah, yep, that kind of nails it.
So yeah,
And
basically
then
what
it
we're
can,
gonna.
and then if you were still lost by that point, when people just vanish out of nowhere.
Plus, I'm pretty sure most people recognize Q even if they aren't Star Trek fans.
I was gonna say Q is actually one of the most recognizable antagonists. I guess the best
But
way to put
so
him.
yeah, essentially, um, they have to figure something out here. They don't know what they have to figure out here. Um, Next episode, there's gonna be some new things that are introduced to help them out.
Fair.
But as they're going, once they're able to leap from here, they're gonna go to another random genre. Well, normally it's going to be random. Currently, we do have specific ones selected for this episode, and for the next episode, we do have specific ones selected. And I am gonna call each of the things an episode. Like, this Star Trek episode it's going to be multiple parts, but I'm calling it one episode.
Well, basically, I guess the best way to put it is arc. Basically, the Star Trek arc and whatever
Yeah,
arc we go to
it's
next.
just like there's going to be the possibility of you guys returning to some of these places. That's why I just want to call it episodes.
Fair,
Got you.
fair enough. Fair enough.
Um, but yeah, so we're gonna do kind of short episodes, 30-ish minutes, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, but yeah, it's gonna be like random genres, random fandoms, basically, and they're gonna
Oh,
be
I hope
put
they
in
lead you
random
into full.
characters, and they don't know anything about their own character yet. I'm going to like basically have a role I'm going to do behind the screen to decide which one of them gets to have a flashback during each episode, and it'll just happen randomly when something happens to that person. And so essentially, they don't know their background yet, but as the show goes, they're going to build their background. Now, I will
Gotcha.
say that the players, know what their characters are good at, not the person that they are currently in, but their actual characters. They know what Luke and Sam are good at.
But let's put it this way: I would know more about Troy than I would random whoever this is
Yeah, yeah.
that I'm playing.
That is another thing. I had them roll not knowing who they were going to get. I had a chart set up with a number next to each person, and I had, especially for certain things like this one where there's just so many random people just in the background. So it's possible for them just to get some random person in the background that doesn't usually have anything to do with the show.
Yeah, like my character, which I'm sitting
Yeah.
here going, wow, I have speaking parts there.
Yes. Ensign Sandra Rhodes, which the reason I gave Ensign Sandra Rhodes the ensign rank is because I don't think she appears until way later.
Uh-huh.
So I didn't want to make her a lieutenant yet.
I was gonna say, I know Lieutenant Rowe, but like,
Yeah, I didn't want to make her a lieutenant yet.
so you made her ensign.
Yes.
So,
So
all
yeah.
right.
But yeah,
Oh,
so that's
at some point
basically how we're gonna be doing this.
at some point we gotta go into the Full Metal Alchemist universe.
Oh
At some
god,
point.
yes.
You want to go to the Full Metal Alchemist universe,
Oh
huh? Which
yes,
It's
version?
gonna be absolutely
The
wonderful.
Brotherhood version or the
the
other version?
original, the
Oh my
the
goodness.
original.
But anyways, like I said, I do want to try and keep the episodes somewhat short. We're going to do something, I guess, essentially just like, you know, a discussion after each of the episodes ends,
Mm-hmm.
where we'll just
I
have
guess
like,
that is what this is. Yeah.
yeah. Well, I mean, I'm not talking about like this. I'm talking about like a full episode that's just us talking about what we just did, you know?
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And at the end of each episode, so not at the end of each part, but at the end of each episode. But for now, that is the end of this. I hope you all enjoyed it. And hopefully we can, start getting a good flow of it coming up here. Um let's go ahead. Do you guys have any plugs?
No, I don't.
Not at the moment.
All right. Well, I'm Serious Star on pretty much every single social media thing. If you're watching this on YouTube, then you already found my YouTube page. If you're not watching it on YouTube, it's Serious Star Z because issues in the past with a forgotten account. But everywhere else, I'm Serious Star, and if you run to Amazon and search for my name, you will also find a couple of books that I've written. There's Demonic Whispers and Wolf Hunt. And I would love it if people went and bought more of those, because I enjoy writing it for one. And I'm actually going to be releasing the third one coming up in the spring of next year.
All right.
Anyways, hope everyone enjoyed, and goodbye.
See you guys.
See ya.